cat named Rob from Webster Avenue, Webster Projects. He had a name reputation over there. And I think and his brother. They used to call Rob Crusader Rob. Because, that sounds real cool and it's dramatic. But Rob was, he was wild. He was a wild nigga. You know what I mean? And I don't know why it was that Crusader didn't, because Rob would he was reputed to get at niggas for even trying to holler at Sheree, because Sheree was she was good looking, good looking young lady, and she was young, mad young, and, and a lot of cats, a lot of street niggas like to run around chasing behind the same girls, which I never understood that. They love doing that though. They love running around chasing behind trying to screw the same girls. They love it. I don't know why that is. I never understood that. I never understood why a nigga wanted a hoe in the first place. Like a known hoe. Not that Sheree was a hoe. Not at all. I'm just saying, like, that's just what niggas was going after. And there was a lot of hoes with names, the Rikas and Chrissies and shit like that, whatever. And it's not a secret that, they was young hoes. It's the ghetto. It's the hood. Motherfuckers doing what they got to do to get what it is they think they want. It is what it is. And no judgment. It just is what the fuck it is. I can't deny that I was, a nigga in the street, getting down, doing the things that I was doing. I can't deny that I was that. And they can't deny that they were the type of girls that tried to get at niggas that was in the street running around getting $2. And it didn't matter what he looked like or where, if he had $2 and he was breaking bread, they fuck it. That's it. Right? And I'm sure they would have got down and got packages if they could, but they couldn't. So they did the next best thing. So anyway, for whatever reason, Rob didn't go on a rampage like I would anticipate and everybody else would anticipate that he would have. Right? And he was Kev's man on top of that. So your girl and your man's mother get hit. Your girl survives. Your man's mother dies. Your man is in the street and he's getting a couple of dollars and nothing happens. You can't ignore that. You can't ignore when a person's reputation, however it may come about, and believe me, reputations come about in the most bizarre fucking ways, bro. You gotta remember what I've always said. The hood is 99% nerds. They're just poor and they're ignorant and they're, ghetto, whatever, but they're nerds. They're fucking ones. Just because you poor and from the hood and from the project, whatever, don't make you no hardcore street person, nothing to that motherfucking effect whatsoever, motherfucking ever. 99% of the time, they make you just a victim of circumstances. And most of what niggas do that results in reputations comes from them responding to their circumstances in mindless fucking ways out of desperation. And they do some shit that the other nerds look at and go, oh shit, this nigga crazy. Did you see what he did? And by the time it passes by 20 fucking people, it's not about seeing what he did. It's about hearing what he did. And what you're hearing ain't nothing like what the fuck he did. Nothing. I've been outside since about 1976. Outside. I ain't never left the streets. I was everywhere. I saw with my own eyes what the fuck was going on. And because I come from where I come from, I know what I was looking at, as opposed to a regular average nigga from the hood who comes from regular average fucking people and doesn't know what he's seeing when he's seeing it. The thing I've heard about myself, about the things I'm supposed to have done, blew my mind. I'm like, where the fuck do you get that from? Where did that come from? Out of nowhere. Because I may have done this or that. Yeah, I did wild shit. I may have done this or that. But they'll take this and that and turn to this, that, the other, but all that other shit and multiply it by fucking 10. Because they want to feel like they have some kind of connection, some type of access, some insight into some shit that they ain't got nothing to do with. They just happen to be poor and in the motherfucking hood. And everybody wants to put on the facade like they built in some kind of way, you know, in my neighborhood, in my block, or my block, whatever. What the fuck that got to do with you, nerd ass nigga? You, nigga. Nothing. That's where these reputations come from, for the most part. Most motherfuckers do not stand to their reputations. And I'm not saying that Rob specifically did not. I'm just saying that in this particular instance, it didn't seem that Rob behaved in the manner that his reputation would imply that he would. I mean, this, if you ain't gonna get down, you've been beating niggas up and terrorizing niggas for just hollering at Sheree, and Sheree was friendly. You know, like she was a cute young girl and niggas liked her and talked to her, whatever, and she'd talk back. He didn't like that. He'll get at a nigga ass for doing that. But a nigga top her off, and that doesn't happen. And they was around. Tom and them was around. And they were the ones supposedly had done it. They were around. But nothing happened. Picture that. Picture that. Your mama got cracked. And you telling niggas, Alpo told me, Alpo said when that shit happened, I was locked up. So when they finally caught Tom, because they was on the run for a while, when they finally caught him, he was brought up to wherever Poe was. And Poe contacted Kev and said, yo, you know, send me a few dollars. I got these niggas. Take care of this shit. And there's a very good chance he would have. There's a chance he might not have either, because Kev was not strong. So for him to have just extorted or tricked some money out of Kev and then not did nothing, you know, wolves don't have to know one another to fuck with one another like that. Meaning this: if you're a wolf and I'm a wolf, and you do something, we ain't got nothing to do with one another, but I know you by reputation, you know me by reputation. I know you're working on my work. And you go and you put pressure on or do something to a sheep, you know. And I call the sheep niggas, you know, hustling niggas that they get their money or whatever, they run around, do what they do, whatever, but they're not on the wolf shit. They're not gonna do no violence, they're not doing no that, whatever, which I've never been a person who's like, oh, that nigga don't do no violence, he don't get down, whatever, then fuck that nigga, mash him out. I ain't never been like that. I was raised by actual gangsters. You know what I mean? It ain't like, if you're an actual gangster, then you know every goddamn well that there are very few actual gangsters. There's a lot of hustlers and all that, whatever, but not every hustler's a gangster. I know this generation has no clue about that. I know, you know, like your generation lost the thread on that. Anybody in their mid to late 30s, that generation, they lost the thread on that. They have no idea. To them, hustler, gangster, street, it's all the same fucking thing, right? But that's not reality. So if you're a wolf, I'm a wolf, you do something to a sheep, you know, some hustler, whatever, the nigga just get to the money, whatever, and he'll pay a nigga. If it comes down to either I pay you or you know, I kill you or have somebody kill you, they will pay all day. To them, it's like, because they were raised in a certain way by normal people, regular people who taught them thou shalt not kill, all kind of, you know, shit like that, whatever. So they got down and got in for the money. They're not in for none of the violent shit. They really worried about going to hell, let alone going to prison. You know what I'm saying? So when Poe said what he said to him, it was a good chance that he could have said, yeah, got him. Yeah, send me 10,000. I'll take it. I think it's 10,000. Yeah, I'll take care of it. And it was a good chance he would say, yeah, got you. Appreciate the 10,000. Now one wolf thing done got you. Now another wolf thing got you too. Man, there's shit you can do about it. Not just because I'm in prison, because you ain't built like that. And that's just a fact of the matter. So Poe said he opted out. He didn't want to do nothing. That doesn't surprise me, because he's not built like that. He's not like that, not known for being like that. And there was never nothing like that. Kevin Chiles has never been known to be a gangster, always known to be a hustler, never known to be a gangster whatsoever. And if you think any differently, you're not thinking, you're believing like some kind of, religious zealot or some kind of cocksucker, you know what I mean? Not to say, I mean, religious zealot is a cocksucker, but, you know, it's like a lot of people like to believe things just because they think it makes them cool to believe it, right? So, Rob didn't get at these guys. These guys got locked up, and they got locked up for Kev's mom's murder and the young lady's murder. All right. So now, Kev, he's sitting in jail, and nothing happens, whatever, and he's sending all kinds of messages to Kev and all type of shit, and shit like that. The cops come and see Kev. They ask him who killed his mother. I read this. It's a precinct report. Who killed your mother, Kevin? I don't know. The word on the street, Tom Cross did it. That's Kevin made that statement. I'm not the only person who's read that precinct report because somebody gave it to me. Kevin was still in jail when I got that precinct report, so that was over 22 fucking years ago. Okay, so that's that. And nobody ever, like most people never really knew about that. So, Tom has been sitting in prison all this time with the jacket about having killed Kevin's mother, tried to rob her and kill her, whatever, this and the other. And so Bullets Gotti sent me a like how you do the thing where you send me the thing so I can post, collaborate or post with you. He sent me in that, so I could review whatever. So I looked at it today. This is today.
Yeah. And
it's 2 clips, and it's of this guy, Big Fruit, the real Big Fruit podcast, and he's on the phone talking to Tom Cross. And Tom Cross is telling him yeah, I know, people think that I got something to do with this, with Kevin's mom's murder, whatever, this, that, and the other. But I had nothing to do with it, whatever. And I mean, of course, a nigga's still in the jail, in joint, for whatever. Yeah, he gonna say that, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So naturally, of course he's gonna say that. Whether it's true or not, he's gonna say that. But he goes on to say, so Kevin, these are short clips. So he says, so Kevin testified on you? He said, no, not himself. He drove the girl to come in and testify and say, boom, this guy killed Kevin Child's mother, shot me and killed the girl who was with me, who I was with. And so basically, and this is just clips now, so I don't really know what the point and purpose of this whole thing is, for real. I don't really know where they're going with this, and I'm trying to find this clip on YouTube. I got it in the DMs. I'm trying to find the clip on YouTube so I could play it. But I'm really curious as to what the point and purpose of this particular conversation between this guy and Tom is going is about. What the real point and purpose of the conversation is. I mean, Tom's been down all these years. It's been over 25 years. I mean, yeah, it was it was before Kevin went to jail. Kevin did 10 years, which is crazy, right? That it was that long ago. But in this conversation, or in these clips in this conversation, they talk about how Kevin drove Sheree to the to the court to have him speak about or here it is. So check this out.
I am your host, Big Fruit, the Michael Jordan record, also known as the voice of the streets, but better known as the Duke, because I like to keep things together and keep them in their proper perspective. How y'all doing out there bright and early on this Monday morning? Y'all know how I do. I get my day started early, and I take my but the bed girl, I am what you consider 50 plus. And in American standards, I am a senior citizen. 50 plus, but it's a blessing to see 50, man, because where we come from, they say we be dead at 18, or we won't see 21, or we'll be in jail next to my wife, feeling. But y'all see the title, right? This is an addendum to the quick interview I dropped yesterday with the boy Tom Cross. First and foremost, let me say, free Tom Cross, the Bronx legend. Let me say this to y'all, right? I've been trying to catch up with Tom for about a month. Last weekend, I missed his call. So this weekend, I was determined to catch his call. But there was no time set or a time frame. It was, yo, we gonna call Sunday. Football Sunday, we at. Man, I set up yesterday at 12 o'clock noon for time. I set up yesterday at 12 o'clock noon for time. I watched the first game. He didn't call. I kept checking in. Yo, what's up with time? He gonna call. He was like, yo, we waiting. I watched the second game. I took one power nap. It reflected. When Brooklyn, and Tom is a Bronx legend. He is not a Brooklyn legend. Tom is a Bronx legend with much love and respect. No question about it. You know what I'm saying? He is gone, man. But Tom Cross is a Bronx legend. And his name is Tom Crooks. My apologies for calling him Dog Crooks. I was so damn tired yesterday, man. I'm tired now. You know what I'm saying? My day started very hard. You know what I'm saying? I'm 50 plus.
Come on, bro.
It was long overdue. That's the big one. He was an addict. He let bygones be bygones over the years and shit. Doing shit died down. So shout out to Shaquille.
Oh
shout
my
out
God.
to Man Do War. Those my comrades. And yesterday, I just sent Cross a message. True, I was an addict with him. Now 596. No question. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people sending Cross they love, man. A lot of people sending Cross they love. That's what's up. Tom need all the love he can get. But like I was saying, Tom was trying to get this message out there, bro, and nobody was listening. But now it's 2025 and Big Fruit is listening, and I am the voice of the streets. You know what I'm saying? But more important, I'm the voice for the comrades. Straight jacket.
What's the message?
You know what I'm saying? I received my blessings for no money. Straight jacket. House man. Now, Tom admits I was a sticker kid, so I took plenty of money, but I ain't got to kill nobody over no money. He said that out of his own mouth. Y'all heard it on the interview, on the quick interview. But he pulled a heist, and during the heist, it was female he left alive. He ain't kill her. He left her alive. They booked her and kept it pushing. And she, somewhere along the line, she made that statement. Either it was handwritten, video recorded, or on the stand at a testimony. She said that. Tom's going to provide paperwork. But then somewhere down the line, Kevin Chiles, he kind of like coerced the witness, and I guess she changed her statement to say Tom was the shooter or Tom was the person who unalive. But we don't get the owner. Like Tom said, I don't want to give it to you verbally. I want you to have the paperwork so you can read it, so you can show the people, and we don't have to go back and forth about what this man did and how he did it. So I'm letting the world know, man, I'm waiting for that paperwork, son. Harlem. It's about to shake up in Harlem, man. Like I said, man, it's about to shake up in Harlem. It's about to Harlem. Rest in peace with Bumpy Johnson, a.k.a. Tiz, the big homie. You know what I'm saying? Brooklyn was out there heavy. Brooklyn was out there heavy.
Where's the fucking video?
Just kept coming.
Oh, yeah, Mel.
I got so many fucking flicks, man. Dude was like, Deuce, and I didn't see you there. Where you was at? Deuce think I was there. Nah, I wasn't there. I was there in spirit because the homies and the comrades was representing me. You know what I'm saying? So, Tiz knew I.
I'm trying to find. Where's the actual? I think is this it? Is this the actual little conversation? Nah, this ain't it. What's this? Whoa, this is major. It's been said Kevin Chiles wrote a police report pertaining to this situation. What did I just say? With Tom Cross, and now Cross saying he literally the one who took Shorty to court to testify against him. That's nasty. Shake on my head. this is about to send shockwaves through the underworld. Firstly, Kevin's not that significant for it to send shockwaves through the underworld. When they say send shockwaves to the underworld, you know what they're talking about? Because I'm from the underworld. And in the underworld, there is no one in the underworld, in the actual underworld. There is no one who has ever regarded Kevin as anything other than a guy who's getting a couple of dollars and had an old shell of a car inside of his sneaker store. No one. That's the fact. That's a fact. You know what they're talking about? They're talking about all the delusional fucking ones and twos that have been running around in the fucking cities, Brooklyn, Queens, Harlem, the Bronx, who are square motherfuckers from square fucking households, who have been preoccupied with street niggas and street nigga shit, and who think because they grew up alongside us and was around us that they are us. That's the underworld he's talking about. Shockwaves. Ain't nobody shocked about a motherfucking thing hearing no soft shit about Kevin Chiles. Nobody. At all. But this is the type of shit that y'all want to talk about. This is the type of shit y'all want to listen to. While your fucking life is tick, 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 ticking the fuck away. You're going to go old and with nothing. You'll have nothing. Because you're so preoccupied with a bunch of meaningless fucking bullshit that don't mean anything. Especially to you. It doesn't mean anything in general. But it doesn't mean anything to you. Like, I don't know what the fuck, bro. I don't know what the fuck, bro. Like, for real, for real. Like, what's the topic? The topic is niggas is stupid. It's stuck on stupid. And gonna die in the dark. That's the topic. That's always the topic. If you're really listening, that's always the topic. No matter what we're talking about, that's what we're talking about. You know what I mean? People would have paid you to drop this. That's crazy. A real exclusive. It's a bunch of nosy dick suckers. A bunch of nosy dick riding motherfuckers. A bunch of nosy wannabe ass half-made bitch motherfuckers who just want to be in other people's business because you got no fucking life of your own because you're not paying attention. If you're paying attention, you'd have plenty of fucking life of your own to be concerned with. But you're still caught up in the same shit that you were preoccupied with when you were in fucking high school. Here you are, you're 44, you still thinking about the shit that was happening when you were 14. The fuck? Listen to me now, but you're gonna believe me later on. You stupid motherfuckers. Y'all just as dumb as y'all wanna be. Y'all just as stupid as y'all fucking wanna be. For real, for real. For real, for real. Like, for real, bro. I'm trying to find, like, why can't I find on dude's page the video that he's referring to where he talks to dude on the phone when you hear cross talking. That's bugged out. Why can't I find that, bro? That's weird. Let me put Tom Cross in. But you dig what I'm saying, son? Like I know I'm going in and all of that. I know I'm going in. But see, I be paying attention.
People be talking about shit that they don't have no idea about, and then they oversimplify things that they don't have really no context to. You just made all of that extra shit up just to like say something. You ain't even really have no purpose. I listened to somebody today on a podcast, and it was like, yo, Nas was a real street nigga. And I was like, what?
So when I see shit like that, that shit make me want to reach into the phone and grab a nigga by his neck and shake his shit until his head is flopping back and forth like a rag doll. Niggas like that need to stop fucking breathing, let alone talking. I'm sorry. Go ahead, son.
Yeah. It should just be like that. You know, yeah. I heard another nigga, he was talking about, you know, how comedians become successful on internet and stuff, and he just started bringing up people's names, not knowing their infrastructure or their full story. And I'm like, you oversimplifying this person's success. Like some people, like one of the people that he brought up, I'm like, that dude been signed by a comedy club, by a major comedy club since he came into the game. So it was already ordained that he's going to be positioned for long term because there's people invested in him being someplace long term. So, like, you just saying, nah, he just dropped clips and like you saying what they want you to say about his success. But that's not why he is where he's at. But it suits you because you can be like, nah, it's just this easy. It's like, nigga, it's not that easy. And it's not just because you so funny or you so talented. It's because a motherfucker said, hey, we're gonna create a space and we're gonna put you in that space.
And because they believe in control. They believe in creating situations because if you create the situation, then you can control the situation. They do not believe in allowing things to grow wildly. That, you know what I mean? You can't control it. If you don't control the growth, that means you can't control what it does as it grows, whatever it might be. I don't give a fuck if you're talking about a plant. If you don't control the growth, that plant will grow out of control and overwhelm all the rest of your growth, all the rest of the things you're growing. That's how everything works. So if they allow somebody to just organically, based upon their time, their talent, and their investment, to just become, somebody's significance or influence, and then they, come behind them and go, hey, we see what you're doing, and we see what you've established for yourself, whatever. Why don't you, come get with us? I mean, whenever that happens, whenever something explodes organically out of nowhere, they do come trying to tap into that shit. Let's get a hold of this before it becomes something that we have to contend with, before it changes the atmosphere, before it changes the structure of things, and what we do, how we do, becomes obsolete or ineffective. In order for them to maintain control, to keep control of things, they have to keep their eye on what is happening, and they have to make sure that they control the growth and expansion and the development of what is happening. Right? Whether it's an idea or an individual. And if they can't, then they smother it. They kill it. This is the way of the world in every aspect. We should all know that. We should all be aware of that. Big Boo Daddy, what's happening, man? That's what's happening. We should all be aware of that. We should all know that. We should all know that that's how that works. None of us should be walking around without a goddamn clue as to, how the world around us works on some level. Not as an adult. You know what I mean? That's dumb. Peace, quiet is kept. Thanks for tapping in. We poppin', son. But Sun 194, appreciate you too. Yeah, we see you. What House Sufi said, White Flame B2 said something. He said he told Sufi he's trying to be funny. Yeah, so it's so much worse than what people believe in, or what people think. And I say I mean our condition as a group. That's why the melanated people with some degree of wherewithal, some degree of resource ability, and so forth, why do you think they try to get as far as they possibly can away from collectives of black people? Why do you think that is? Why do you think that is? You think because they don't like black people? They don't like their people? No, it's because they have developed a good enough degree of common sense to recognize what the fuck is happening. Even if they don't understand the circumstances that contribute to what is happening. Realistically, unless you're a social scientist, so you have some vested interest in knowing those things, it doesn't really matter. The fact of the matter is, if you're in a building and the building's on fire, your concern is getting the fuck out of the building and not being burnt up, not It's getting hot in here, but before we leave, let's figure out how to